Hello, hello, hello. This is the long-awaited storm guide for a top 500 storm on PlayStation. So right away, we're going to start off with her abilities. The first thing we have is her primary, which is her wind blade. This pierces, and if you don't know what piercing means, it's when you can go from a corner or a side of enemies that are grouped up and hit them at the same time. As you can see, I'm doing damage to both of the bots. 55 flat damage, which is not bad when you're up close, at least, because the damage fall off begins right here at 15 meters, which is when they're not in your circle, which is probably why the damage fall off is like that. But yeah, as you can see, healthy damage right here, but then once we start to go back a little bit, 30 meters, taking a lot more hits. This cannot get headshots, cannot critical, none of that. It's just a standard primary projectile. You're able to shoot 12 rounds at once, and that's about it. So for her next ability, we have the Bolt Rush. This is like her secondary attack, pretty much. It does 80 flat damage. Now you cannot spam it like this. It has a 8-second cooldown, so be mindful of that. But pretty much when you are in game, you're gonna be using this off cooldown as much as possible. You're gonna be paying attention to that so you can kind of get those free kills, because a lot of the times you'll just get a free kill. And the great thing about this is this pierces as well. So as you can see, I did damage to both of them. But a great way to make this really pierce is if you hit them from up top, because it'll get a lot of people at once. So like I said, this does 80 flat damage, and this does have damage, not damage fall off, but it has a range that you can't hit from. So it starts maybe about like maybe 50 meters, I would believe. Yeah, like once you're like right here, you can't hit them anymore. So keep that in mind. And you can go up to about 40 meters. You can hit them really high up with this. But most of the time you don't want to be high up with Storm, so there's really no need to do this. But in case you did want to know, that's how high you can go with this. Next ability is the weather control. Thunder, wind. Thunder, wind. She only has 2 weathers, but those are her weather control. This grants a movement boost to allies, movement boost to yourself, and it slows down enemies. The thunder grants damage boost to yourself and to your allies. Now on to how much of each. The radius, by the way, before I do get started on that, is a sphere. So the higher you go, the less people you will be in it. So basically, if you're all the way in the sky, nobody's going to be in your sphere, essentially. Unless they're a flyer. And if that case you're trying to boost a flyer, then it really doesn't matter. But most of the time you don't want to be stingy with her radius. Damage boost, wind boost, whatever. So the damage boost flat without enhancing is 10% for allies and 12% for yourself. So a 250 target gets burst down with standard in about 4 hits. So you do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's if you're within range of no damage fall off. Now within the wind mode, it takes about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So just a little bit less. You just do a little bit less damage. So keep that in mind. So for the wind mode, you get about 8% movement boost for your allies and a 16% for yourself. You enhance this, aka you use Goddess Boost. Goddess Boost enhance, same thing. it does damage amongst itself. So that initial enhance does damage, and then on top of that it does lightning, which all do 35 damage by itself. So that alone took down 75% of their health of a 250 health target. Enhanced tornado mode, you get a 40% movement boost, so as you can see I'm moving a lot faster compared to without it. And your allies get a 20%. And this also slows down characters. So let's see with the bots. As you can see, they're moving fast, but when I put the wind, as you can see, there's a little effect on it that's slowing them down by 15%. This has a cooldown, this has a duration of 8 seconds, whether you're in thunder or you're in wind. And the cooldown is 15 seconds. Now the cool thing about this is that you can switch. So let's say you need to get out of line of sight really quickly, but you want to still do damage. You can just switch and you'll be in thunder. But keep in mind that the duration is 8 seconds, so if you are taking too long to get out of line of sight and then you still want to do damage when you switch, you will have only probably a couple seconds. So just keep that in mind. And about the lightning, it is every 2 seconds there is a strike, so within the whole duration you will get about 3 lightning strikes. These can hit about as many enemies as in the area. So if there's 6 enemies in the area, all of them are getting hit. Now for her ultimate. This is a round sphere area effect that pulls in enemies. It recently got buffed, so it does about 80 damage per hit. And it's 2 hits per second, so essentially it's doing 160, yes. At first it was doing 150, but it's now 160. So it takes out 250 targets in about a couple seconds. The energy cost is 3,100, so not too much. And it does grant bonus health, so when you are out of it, you go from 250 health to 700, and it does go away after you do it for a couple seconds later. So just realize you're not invincible and you're not going to forever have armor. And the weather effects are disabled, so you cannot enhance the tornado, the hurricane, whatever you want to call it. The duration of this tornado is only 5 seconds, so you mainly want to take out the back line and then return back to your team if the odds are in your favor. If it looks like everybody's dead and low health, you can pretty much just go out and wipe the team with the rest of your kit if it's charged. Now for the team ups. The first one is with Human Torch. Torch is the anchor, so you really need him to ult first so you can use your ability, which is the L3. Not sure what that would be on PC or Xbox, but it's L3 on PlayStation, which is the left joystick. Every time he puts down a tornado, you go through an ad time. Now for the Jeff Nado. Jeff can have a command for your ult like Storm. Or you can do it like that where Jeff ults and then you go into the hurricane and swallow everybody. This ult lasts for 9 seconds. And it swallows the team and does damage to them at the same time. But if the ult does not work, or you don't do it in time, it'll just end up spitting them out with quarter health or like half health. It won't, like this for example. Or sometimes it just won't even work altogether. Now, for my personal tips with Storm. You really want to play low to the ground just for that damage boost and around your tanks. So, like this for example. Even though we're going to be doing damage to this tank, if let's say this is your tank, you want to be playing behind them while you pierce other enemies. You don't want to be flying up too high because then you'll be losing your aura. A lot of times you want to be poking with Storm because she's that type of character. Like, you want to play around walls a lot, because if you're out in the open, you can do a lot of damage and just burst them down. It happens. There's gonna be those times where you're gonna be out in the open, but most of the time you want to be behind a wall, at least a wall to your left. Make sure no one's on the right of you where they're in your line of sight and you're in theirs. Make sure the wall is completely closed off. Some tech for me is I like to ult on top of buildings, so I can just go like that, or I'll show in a second. I'll just hit the zoom, like how I'm going back to my team. Let's say this is my team. Just went from a building, took the back line out. These are the two healers, and then went back to my team, all within that time span. Or I can just do this the quick way, using L2 to zoom out and then confirming it. I messed it up, but you get the point. A lot of times you want to go back to your team with the ult, or if they counter ult your ult, you just want to do this. Like, let's say Luna ults, I'm ready to put on a show. You don't even want to try to kill them. Just quickly ult, go back to your team, just like that. Just retreat. Literally just retreat. Now here's some combos. She really has only 2 combos, but here's one. This is a good flanking combo. Thunder boost, boom, 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 just like that. Thunder boost. Thunder boost. Primary, melee, and bolt rush. That's a good combo for her. And then you have her standard combo, which is lightning 2, because it'll have lightning come down, so it'll be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So yeah, those are her main forms of combos. She really just has 2, nothing crazy. Sometimes you can go in like with an initial bolt rush to start it off with, just to do some extra damage. Or a lot of times a good thing to do is to finish someone off when they're low with her bolt, with her did I say bolt rush? Her thunder. So let's just say they're low. Pop, just like that. Or if you're stuck in reload, you can finish them off with the bolt rush. When it comes to her movement, you want to go from side to up and down. That's mainly what you want to do with flyers, with other flyers. And when they're at your crosshair, you want to reload. So let's jump into a game and I'll put some commentary over it. So as you can see, I am goddess boosting to the spawn point, or the point I should say, because it's not the spawn, but yeah, a lot of times that'll get you to your destination pretty fast for your team, so y'all can be already set up. Most of the time it's not really necessary to do this, but you can if you want, because by the time the game will start, you'll have your goddess boost again. So I mean, it doesn't hurt, but like a lot of times on like domination, you don't want to do that because when the game starts, you probably won't have your goddess boost. So immediately I am starting off with the goddess boost and for the thunder, so my team can do some extra damage from a distance. You have to take into account of who you're playing with. Like if you are not playing with ranged characters on your team, then there's no need to be doing that most of the time, because if anything, you're just going to be boosting yourself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you're not getting the full value of the team bonus. So as you can see, I'm damage boosting and I'm kind of following Thor around, like playing right behind him. You don't want to play too close to behind a dive tank, but you know, a lot of times you can play behind them, especially a Thor. So right now I am going into their backline where Adam is, aka their healer. I think that he was their only healer, I don't know. This was quick match, so. But yeah, just took him out. Especially you want to take out an Adam because he can just soul bond the team and keep the healers alive. So whenever there's an Adam on this, in the backline, always prioritize him first and then get the other healer. So in a second here, you're gonna see me getting greedy and getting killed for it. And that's just because I was not behind a wall, or at least poking behind a wall if I was gonna do a lot of damage. Storm isn't very fast, so a lot of times when you die and you're coming back to the point, you want a wind boost or goddess boost in the wind form so you can get to the team a little bit faster. So you can see me playing behind this little piece of cover and poking in between, and I think I got a pick or helped get a pick. Yeah, I got a pick. So yeah, a lot of times that'll happen if you just play behind a wall or some type of cover.
Behold the god of thunder!
Goddess boosting with the wind to get out of there, but after my ult, so I'm safe. So as you can see, there's another flyer on the other team, so I'm just a little bit high up, but this is the most you want to go with Storm. Even if there's another flyer, like, it's not that serious. You do not have to be right in their face because you're just gonna die, honestly. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope this helped. If you do have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I will answer them. Hopefully I'll have an answer. If not, I'll think of something. So So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. And yeah, thank you for watching. Love you all, and I will see you guys in the next. Bye-bye.